Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Ekta. I'm a second year podiatry student and I attend the University of Northampton in the UK. I interview podiatrists and podiatry students for your entertainment and knowledge. Every week, we find a podiatry student or podiatrist who helps students such as myself and prospective students gain some insight into the world of podiatry. Today, I interviewed Diksha and Yona, third year pediatric medical students based in US, California. They are the brains and beauty behind the DPM Journey, which is created by students for students and gives you all you need to know about podiatry in the US. You can find them on social media, which I will link in the description box below. Please continue watching, and if you like my videos, hit that subscribe button, click like, and turn on the notification bell so you get updates every time I release a video, which is every Friday, but I try to aim around once a week. Thank you for watching. Take care. And okay, we're good to go. Hi guys. How are you doing today?
Good
Thank
morning.
you so
How is
I was
good
going to
morning
say
on our
thank you
end.
so much for inviting us, but yes, good morning.
Oh, it's 100% my pleasure. So for everybody that's living under a rock and that don't know who you are, would you like to quickly introduce yourselves?
Sure. My name is Yona. I'm a third year podiatric medical student at CSPM, California School of Podiatric Medicine in Oakland, California.
Nice.
Yes, and I also attend the same school, and I'm also a third year pediatric medical student, and we both created the DPM Journey. So,
Which
Yona, do you
is
want to talk about
uh, sure. I'll talk about it. So yeah, we created a channel called the DPM Journey, which is both an Instagram and YouTube channel, and basically the whole premise of the channel is essentially to talk anything about podiatry, pre-podiatry and podiatry related, because we felt going into school and our experiences of applying to podiatry school that there was not enough resources out there for students like
Hmm.
ourselves and other prospective students.
Yeah.
So we made it our mission and our goal to essentially make videos that help educate the public and other students about
Hmm.
this incredible field and some of the things we do at school and out of school, and just let everyone know just a bigger picture of what podiatry is about, and hopefully put respect on my name.
Put respect on my name.
it? And for clarification,
Put respect on it.
Yeah.
wait, Ekta, is it just me or are we freezing?
A little bit. Yona's frozen like completely, and I think it's hilarious.
I know it's happy face.
That's the
Um,
best face to have frozen though.
exactly, so lucky. Oh my gosh, what is happening to him? Okay, that's so weird. But I was going to also clarify that we are based in the US, so a lot of
Yes.
what we talk about is obviously US related, but
Yeah.
podiatry at the end of the day has a lot of similar aspects throughout the world. So,
Yeah. 100%. So diving into my first question, what made you to choose podiatry to begin with?
uh, am I still frozen?
No, you're good.
Okay, okay, good. Um, okay, so I'll just dive right into this. Why I chose podiatry? Great question, and we get this question asked a lot.
Mhm.
For me, it's based off just my experiences when I was a younger kid back in high school. Growing up, I've always had flat feet, and essentially, I was a very athletic person, playing things like football, volleyball, but my feet would hurt at the end of the day,
Mhm.
and so conservative options never helped me, such as orthotics, icing, bracing, physical therapy, etc. And so I thought that doing reconstructive flat foot surgery would probably be my
Right.
next best option. And long story short, I've had 5 surgeries on my right foot, and it took a toll on me, and I learned a lot from those experiences, and it was really tough, but I knew after going through that type of issue that I wanted to
Mhm.
give back in a field that I could relate to, such as
Yeah.
just the lower extremity field. And seeing that all my surgeries were done by orthopedic surgeons, I thought, okay, for sure I want to go the MDDO route of going through orthopedic surgery, because
Mhm.
that's the only two types of medicine, healthcare fields that I thought were possible.
Yeah.
During my third year of college, my junior year, my good friend actually introduced me to the field of podiatry, and I
Hmm.
was like, "What's podiatry?" So I decided to shadow two local podiatrists around my college surrounding area for 3 months, and I fell in love with it. Just seeing how the patient interactions were, the conservative treatment options that they were using,
Hmm.
and plus the stress work-life balance was just a
Oh
big
yeah.
bonus for me. So
Yeah.
just adding that all together, I was pretty much dead set knowing that I wanted to be part of this field, and now here I am, third year podiatry student, enjoying life and
Living life.
living life, treating patients as much as I can, and this is it. And I
Yeah.
love it. I love what I do every day.
That's fantastic. What about yourself,
Yeah.
Diksha?
Yeah, it's always weird coming after Yono or before him with this answer because it was inspirational. Mine is more of a it's weird sort of, or maybe a lot of people can relate.
It's okay. We accept weird people. I love them.
Thank you. That's why we love you. All of us together.
Yeah.
So when I was actually just a few years ago, I already knew that I wanted to be a family physician. I had grown up thinking that was it for me.
Mhm.
Um, but then I was in a weird point in my life where I was in this program that a lot of students who are pre-medicine take in the country.
Mhm.
They I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's a post-bac program.
No, I've not
But
heard of that.
okay, well, we basically do it to beef up our application.
Okay.
So I was basically in the first year of a different medical program for DO students. And
Mhm.
so towards the end, I was realizing, okay, maybe there's something else I should look towards.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't know what. And I had just found out that I probably wasn't going to be attending that school. And that was the school that I was trying to
Get
aim
into.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did not apply to any medical schools before that or after
Mhm.
that. Uh, well, there was one I was going to attend before that, but anyways, I have this just a crazy long story. So, so anyways, what ended up happening was I was thinking about other healthcare options because I
Mhm.
knew I only wanted healthcare. Nothing else made sense to me.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I was talking to my family and they were telling me, "Hey, you know you only want to be a doctor." Like, yes, this is true. I don't want to change this. So I ended up talking to friends who were in podiatry already.
Okay.
I was never considering podiatry because I didn't know it was medical school. So
Right. Okay.
um, yeah, and and that was already weird because I didn't apply to any medical schools in the first place. So anyway, so I talked to her and like two of them, a guy and a girl,
Mhm.
and they both gave me their perspectives. And I ended up deciding on it because I shadowed podiatrists. And that's what we always like to tell students.
Mhm.
Shadow a podiatrist because you're never going to understand. You're going to have misconceptions. You're not going to, there
Oh
will be
yeah.
things that you must have heard. Yeah. There's always going to be naysayers, but if you don't do it yourself, you're not going to know what you want. So
Yeah.
I shadowed and I realized I liked it so much better than primary care and more than other things I was looking into that I could only get if um, yeah, like if I went the MDDO route.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I found out, first of all, that it had a huge variety and you can't find that everywhere at all.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you're
Oh,
specializing.
sorry.
Oh no,
I'm breaking my set.
too much.
Ignore
um,
me. Please continue.
no, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, so it was that part of it, and then the part that you're growing with the patient
Mm.
because we have everything we do is like an orthopedic, we have all the great aspects of an orthopedic surgeon
Yeah.
who is specializing in the foot and ankle, but on top of that, we grow with the patient. We look at conservative options first, mostly,
Mhm.
and we're training from day one, and we have the work-life balance. And I've been talking for too long, so I'm going to cut it there. But
Yeah.
that is why I chose to.
Wow. Okay. No, I fully relate to like more towards like Diksha's answer. No offense, Yona, but like because I started off in law first, and I was like, oh yeah, like because my mom's a podiatrist, and I was just like, yeah, I don't want to be a podiatrist because my mom's already been there, done that, and then so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be completely different, and I'm gonna choose law. I absolutely like I really hated it. Like I really hated like I'm not slagging them off or anything, but it's just that like it was really apparent that that field was definitely not for me. Like I was not cut out to be a lawyer. Like you have to be so thick-skinned. But like with healthcare, I think it's like when if you have traits like if you have empathy and compassion, especially like for your patients, that can actually be a positive as opposed to, you know, in a field like law, it's kind of seen as a bit of a negative. So
Right.
I think kind of like I relate more to like Diksha's answer. So leading on to my next question, how did you guys start DPM Journey? Like what was that moment where you went, aha, I think we need to do something and start DPM Journey. How does it start? And then what's the future of DPM Journey look like?
First of all, can I just talk about what you said about being a lawyer? Um,
Yeah.
that's I feel like did you pass law school?
No, I didn't. I stopped like I was in my third year and I was like, you know what, I'm done. Like I did not was never going to finish it. I didn't think I was ever going to finish it, but I just because I didn't want to do what my mom did, in fear of never being able to live up to her stand. Because I think she's a phenomenal
Oh,
podiatrist. A lot of her patients were like, "Yeah, like Dr. Regama, like you're amazing." I don't think like if I would have taken over her clinics, and that's the thing with like parents. If your parents a podiatrist and they push you to be one, they kind of want the whole idea is like you come over, you take over their clinics, you take over their
yeah.
patient list, and I feel like, oh, if I had done that, I would first of all never live up to her standard. It would
Mm,
I would just complete like she would overshadow me 100%, and then I would be working really hard, not just to be a good practitioner, but just to kind of like be better than my mom. And I think that's a really bad reason to get into any kind of field is to
Mm.
outshine your parent. I don't think that's a really healthy mindset.
Yeah,
But yeah.
the reason I asked is because I that's that's amazing because I think you can apply the you have to think a certain way, like you were saying. You definitely have to
Mhm.
think a certain way when you're in law school versus med school, even though you're working very or any healthcare, honestly, any
Yeah.
healthcare graduate school. You have to think a certain way versus law school. And so I think it's fair. You're going to bring something incredible to the table as a
Hmm.
podiatrist. So I think that's great. I just want to add that. But
Yeah.
on to why we did the DPM journey. So I'll start with my reason.
Hmm.
I'll make it quick. So I when I first discovered podiatry from my friends, I I did so I, this again a little strange, but I go to YouTube for information.
Yeah.
So on any healthcare field. And if I ever want to learn about anything and I hear about my friends doing this or that, then I look it up on YouTube.
Hmm.
So what I did at that point was, and when I was in this crossroads, I wanted to know exactly what would make sense for me and how people in the field already worked and how they felt about their professions. So I searched everything up. When I did podiatry, all I could find that was remotely close to what I was looking for was from 10, 15 years ago. And
Mm.
so actually, a lot of those podiatry YouTube channels started our year, like once a week. It's the strangest thing, but there was nothing out there. So I had I was wary of it because of that until I
Hmm.
shot it, of course. But that was something that stayed in my mind, and so I decided once I start podiatry, I am going to start my YouTube channel immediately. I'm going to do this single-handedly. I'm going
Yeah.
to just you know blast people's minds with all of this and everything's going to be loud and I had all these ideas
Yeah.
and then I never ended up executing them because because
Oh.
I would tell myself, oh, I can't do it. That's why I think you're so cool like that because you're doing this alone. But
Thanks.
I can't handle it. And I was like, I can't handle it, but eventually I'll get to it because the class
Hmm.
load is so much. And then eventually I met Yona, and because we were randomly just studying together one day, and he told me he wanted to start a YouTube channel for podiatry,
Okay.
and that was I don't know how that happened. Out of all people I got close to, he happened to be the one who also wanted to start a channel.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from. It's just there's not enough out there, and
Yeah.
we really, really wanted to break those misconceptions and illuminate people's ideas of what podiatry really is,
Yeah.
and make sure people understand we are physicians. We're not fake doctors or whatever people think out there. So yeah, yeah, no.
If out of all the things you could be like a fake, like I mean, I don't think anybody would want to be a fake doctor. Like I'd want to be like a fake actress if I had my choice, because I mean the
Right.
perks that go along with that. Come on.
Right?
I love
Right?
both
I
ends of
agree. I agree.
Oh, people are weird. Or I hear, oh yeah, podiatrists are just like toenail clippers. And
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
it's part of the foot care routine, but it's not
facts.
everything. Like,
Right. Life would be
oh,
so easy if that was all we did.
do you know what? Yeah, that's so true. um, so what are the pros and cons of promoting podiatry on social media? Like, what kind of things have you come across where you're like, oh, this is amazing? Or things you've come across where you're like, ah, you know, this kind of sucks, but it comes with the whole package of being on social media and being prevalent.
I could say some of the pros. Um,
Yes.
big pros. Social connections. Look where
Mm,
we are doing an
yes.
interview with you, and this
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened if we hadn't followed you on Instagram or you following us, having met
Yeah.
Dr. Franklin, who broke the ice between all of us.
Hmm.
That's one of the incredible things about social media. You can just connect with a vast network of people
Yeah.
who are in this field who are very passionate and you never knew they actually existed outside of the US even, which is
Oh yeah.
incredible. And I love this. I love how social media can just break barriers like that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. Another thing is that I love just the idea of sharing your experiences without having like YouTube is great. I love YouTube, but sometimes like Instagram, you make these quick 5, 10 second videos
Hmm.
explaining something that you learned in clinic, something you learned in
Yeah.
class, and it really does help educate people watching those 5, 10 second clips. And
Hmm.
it really gets people excited about this field and it brings positivity
Yeah.
to our field and what we do. And it sheds really great light on what we do. So I love that aspect of it as well. Also, there have been countless prospective students who look at our channel and are like, "Oh my
Yes.
God, I want to learn more about podiatry. You're doing
Hmm.
all that? I never knew that. Like, we see all these other accounts, but podiatry accounts, wow, that's incredible. You guys are doctors, you guys do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we do." And
Yeah.
then they're like, "Okay, we're totally interested. We're invested in like applying to podiatric medical school," and they ask us a
Hmm.
bunch of questions. And again, we're very grateful and blessed to be in that position of actually
Oh
answering
yeah.
those questions.
Yeah.
And we honestly enjoy answering those questions and helping students out. And then the gratitude that you get when they tell you, "Hey, I got an interview at this school, my dream school," and I'm just like, "Oh my God, that's incredible!" Like I honestly helped, or we helped in some little way, some shape
Yeah.
or form to help them get into school. And
Yeah.
and that goes a long way because again, it's all about networking, right? And
Hmm.
one day maybe those students will become doctors, and maybe one day they'll treat one of my friends or one of my family members, and or they'll refer patients to me. So it's all these connections that you have to make now that are
Hmm.
really incredible through social media, because in this day and age social media will take over. If you want to build up your business or
Oh,
brand,
for sure.
social media is the place to go, and I think it's
Yeah.
only going to be the hub for everything when it
Yeah.
comes to building
A hundred
businesses.
percent. Like it's your digital resume or a digital kind of business card. So I think, you know,
Right.
investing in social media, like that's the smart thing to do. What about yourself,
Yeah.
Diksha?
Yeah, I was also going to say another pro is that I think for our field, what we need is for people to come together and collaborate. And
Yeah.
that's the only thing I will bring our field. If there's one thing that I've noticed that might have pushed us back a little bit, is that we didn't have that before. And
Mm-hmm.
so people like you who are interviewing podiatrists and trying to do everything creative that you could possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
I really like your take. We were talking, you and I were talking about that. We like your take on how you promote everything. It's great. I would have never even
Oh,
imagined to do it like that. And
yeah.
all I'm going to say the most apparently on this is that you're great. So
Thank you. Seriously, being so flattered right now. My cheeks are gonna hurt from like smiling so much. This is
Right?
amazing. So what about, so that was the pros, and I fully agree with
okay,
the
yeah.
both of you.
Oh
What's
yeah,
the kind of
cons,
cons that you've,
so many.
yeah. Okay, let's get ready.
Um, so
I,
oh
go ahead.
okay,
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
every day, every day is like a whole new adventure that we have to continue because we have to constantly think of what are unique ways to shed light in podiatry. What's something that we can
Yes.
do that can help us pop up on someone's feed who never
Hmm.
thought about podiatry? Because that's the problem. If there's anything that's keeping us from reaching a huge audience, it's because no one, I mean not no one, but there are very few people who are actually going out of their way to look up podiatry because of those misconceptions.
Yes.
And so to think of, okay, how do I title this video so that people will actually find it? It's like in the past how growing up like we would have a speaker come to our school
Hmm.
or we'd have things were just forced, information was forced upon us, and
Yeah.
that's how we learned. And
Yeah.
that's how we didn't have misconceptions, or if we did have any misconceptions, we grew in knowledge and we understood those topics. That's something that isn't really done with podiatry as much, and so that's why we're trying to do that now. We know you're trying to do that where you are, and that's the only way that I can see our field getting bigger and for people to understand. So
Yeah.
that's the toughest part. And I'm constantly, ever since we started our YouTube channel and our Instagram, on my free time, I used to really like thinking of ways to improve. Self improvement was my thing,
Yeah.
but now I watch are videos on how to reach people. That's
Mm.
that's all I find myself doing. I'm showering, I'm playing those videos. I'm taking a walk, I'm playing those videos, and it's such a because and plus there aren't any videos on that either. Like, it's topics that
Yeah.
people don't search. Like what else are you gonna? I don't know what else to look up. So that's the toughest thing I think about it, and also
Yeah.
um, just not having the support that you would expect from colleagues or
Yes.
peers, um, and people don't realize that either. It's not like I was talking to Yona about that. We can't even blame them because um,
Yeah.
people didn't come into the field to promote it. A lot of people came into it just to get to the final destination, to be a podiatrist.
Yeah. And like
And
that's
so
not their fault either. It's just kind of, you know,
it's different priorities a little bit, and
yeah,
yeah, like they're trying to get by. Like we're all just trying to get by, and so
of course. Yeah.
we can't blame them. And
No.
that's why there's people like us who are looking to other things, and as well. And for us three, that's promoting podiatry. And so
Hmm.
we have to just push through, even
Yeah.
though that's the case. And that makes it a little harder because I know if I reached out to my peers and asked them to share and do everything, subscribe, whatever, I'm sure they would do it. I'm sure they would do it, but
Yeah.
it also just feels strange. So um,
Yeah.
we when we get the support naturally, we accept it. We're happy about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people just don't understand that subscribing
Yes.
helps the channel. People don't know that. People don't know that just one like can help your page reach other people, and it's not for
Hmm.
vanity measures. It's um, yeah, our personal accounts maybe, but
Yeah.
the account you have, you know,
Yeah.
we're trying our best to reach other people, and we can't do that if we're not
Yeah.
going to get the likes and we're not get the shares and the saves. All those
Yeah.
little things that people don't know matter unless they start looking into it themselves.
No, that's true. And partly it's like it's how the YouTube algorithm is set up anyway. So like you need to have that interaction. You need to have that audience interaction. So your videos get pushed further and further to the, kind of front section.
Right,
I fully
right.
get you. And it's really hard to like crack that algorithm in the first place. But when you do, like it's going to be so worth it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about yourself, Yona? Did you have any cons that you would like to add?
I I think Diksha hit all of them. I just think
Yeah.
again, like I think the con of social media is sometimes you feel like you have to put up a certain image in order to
Yeah.
please people's attentions and their span of attention because especially Instagram is something that people go on and just be like not most people, but some people are just haphazardly. You're just like, oh, scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Oh, that's a really
Yeah.
cool picture. I like that picture. There could be the biggest description of your life. It could be your life story in that
Yeah.
caption, but
Yeah.
they see this one picture of you with a beautiful sky and your hair done, your makeup done, and
Yeah.
that's what they like.
Yes.
And that's the thing with Instagram. Are you have
Yeah.
to sort of find this right balance between pleasing people's attention, what they like, and then
Mm-hmm.
also the other people who respect you putting the content, putting the quality of work. And so
Yeah.
it becomes sort of a look at two ways. It becomes sort of a job sort of sense because social media can
Yeah.
be a side hustle of a job, but
Yeah.
also you could go into it being passionate that okay, it's this struggle, it's this grind that I get up every morning to having to do in order
Mm-hmm.
to reach the audience that I want, and it's going to take time, but
For
it
sure.
builds that sort of quality of hard work to get to that point. And
Oh
nothing
yeah.
comes easy in life, right?
No.
You're not going to get 10,000 likes over in one night, even
Mm-mm.
200 likes, 100 likes, right?
Yep.
So especially with a small niche like podiatry where not a lot of people are searching for it, looking for
Yeah.
it, even following the hashtag podiatry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's difficult in that sort of sense, but if you go into it enjoying it, if you post quality content, and if you think this will be helpful for somebody in the future that will look at it 3 days, 4 days later,
Yeah.
then you've really made an impression. And I
Oh yeah.
think it's just your whole mindset of and what you're trying to do for your accounts and what's your goal, I think comes all together and actually becomes really, really good.
Yeah. No, that's just fantastic.
Right.
Um, Now before we move on to the question game, my final have for students that are considering a career in podiatry.
Sorry,
Besides following your Instagram page, what advice do you have for us?
what advice we have for students,
Yes.
prospective students?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, I think Diksha would agree on me with this one, but I think a big one would be shadowing a doctor,
Mm,
and shadowing a podiatrist would be crucial for prospective students looking into a very specialized field such as podiatry.
yeah.
Um, you have to really like know that you want to enter this field. There's no alternative routes once you go into podiatry. Sure, there's subspecialties such as sports medicine, trauma, rear foot, forefoot reconstruction
Mm-hmm.
through fellowships and through all this. Yes, sure, but your focus at the end of the day is going to be lower extremity anatomy, foot and ankle,
Yeah.
and sometimes leg and biomechanics. But you have to be happy with that. You have to be understanding like this is what you're going to be practicing for most of your life
Yeah.
typically from a 9 to 5 job. So students will, if they shadow and if they see what we do and sort of get a sense of okay, this is the right field for me, then it becomes a good opportunity for them to apply, and also it helps them with admissions such as answering that personal statement that asks them to connect podiatry
Yeah.
with their personal life, as well as admissions officers are usually going to always ask the question why podiatry. So
Yeah.
having this sort of background and knowledge of shadowing a doctor, seeing what they go through, and then answering that question honestly and truthfully when the day
Mm-hmm.
comes will help you significantly improve your chances as you go
Yeah.
through your admissions and application process for podiatry school. So I think shadowing again is a huge tip and advice I would give to all prospective students looking into this field.
Mm-hmm. That's excellent advice. What about
Yeah.
yourself, Diksha?
So I agree with everything Yona said, but on top of that, I'm going to emphasize this: don't make assumptions about a career before you try it out. And so
Yeah.
that's why that's just my whole deal about why you should be shadowing, or why you should even speak to a podiatrist. Like I know at this time maybe virtual shadowing. Is it really possible for a lot of people?
Mhm.
But at least call up a podiatrist and talk to them about what they
Yeah.
do. You won't know until you do.
Interview them.
Right.
Sit them down. Put them on the
Seriously,
spot.
that's you should like a Skype call or something. It would be
Yeah.
helpful.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that was a fantastic advice. Time for the fun part of the interview. If you could
Excited.
hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose and why?
Diksha, you're going for this one.
She took off her headphones.
Oh,
She's done.
she's done.
She's done. She's like, no, I'm through.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can. She's like, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. I'm gonna go play online games. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go start my Twitch account.
Yeah. Aw.
Oh,
What was your question? I'm so sorry. My headphones stopped working.
Okay, that's okay. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose and why?
Okay, now I really wish I looked at these questions before. Yona, I think you should go first.
okay, I got it. Um, I think I would hang out with the Avatar. Uh,
Really? Why?
I because I've always had this sort of weird
Don't say
complex.
crush. Don't say crush.
No, not crush. I don't think a crush actually. That would be really weird,
You're wearing blue as well. I
right?
think I'm sensing a pattern here.
I just love the Avatar just for his physical
Oh,
appearance.
come
Oh
on, man. This
man.
is PG. This is
Okay,
PG.
okay, got it. But no, I think hanging out with the Avatar would be honestly great because I think growing up I always had this I always thought like I could control wind or control some sort of element. It was so weird. I've always thought, oh, like if that rock moved because I looked at it and it moved because I flipped my hand or something. Yeah, have you ever
Are
had that
you like,
experience?
wait a minute, are you talking about like Airbender?
Oh yeah,
Like, oh, the
Airbender.
anime? I thought
A-
you were talking about like Avatar, like, that movie.
oh, definitely. Oh, I'm so
I thought the same thing.
Oh,
let's
thank
let
God.
this question is just this question's already out of the
You
park.
absolute freak.
This, the big blue guys.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
oh God.
okay.
I
I'm
don't
with you.
think.
That's me. I'm just being ditzy. My
Oh,
Well,
bad.
I mean, we're in the same boat
okay.
with that. Me too.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I mean, like that thing would be twice your size, like maybe triple your size. I think it'd be hard to hang out
right?
with him. Yeah.
It'd be so weird. Like running up
Oh.
trees and
Wait a minute. Back
riding
to you
on.
thinking you could move things with your mind. I want to
Right.
like, I want to press this.
Yeah. So I thought I could control elements. So I just growing up,
Oh.
that's how I thought. That's how I was like as a little kid. And so watching the Avatar Airbender series, the anime series, I thought that would be a really unique character I would love to learn from and just try to control powers and do all these
Yeah.
things. I think that would be great. So I definitely hang out with the Airbender. Definitely. Super nice
That's
guy.
actually
Looks
a
like a
really
super
good
humble
show
guy.
too.
Yeah, it's a great show.
It's
It's a
a
great
really great
show.
show. Like when I first
Yeah.
watched it, I binged it really, really hard.
Right? Everybody binges it. Oh my God, it's so addicting. You cannot get
You can't
enough.
not. Yeah,
Yeah, right?
exactly.
It's so good.
What about
But
you,
Diksha,
Diksha?
you got it. You got it.
Oh my gosh. So when I really think about it, I watched a lot of anime growing up. So I would want to hang out. It was who I'd want to hang out with, right?
Yes.
So I'd want to hang out with someone that, like Yona was saying, someone I could learn from, but also a lot of the characters that I'd watch were people who trained to be. I don't know. I think it's because I have a little brother, so we we watched a lot of stuff with about fighting and that sort of thing. And
Okay, yeah.
these men and women who were raised since childhood as these supreme, not ninjas, but they're just these supreme warriors. And
Yeah.
so they had to understand their mind and have a good grasp of everything. And for me, I'm a very spiritual person in that I try to learn that sort of thing. It's like, how do I lose my ego and how do I stay
Oh yeah.
like present and attached or detached, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's something I'd seen. I don't want to take Yona's, but there's something I saw online once. I was looking up at chakras because I hadn't really understood it that well. And guess what popped up? The avatar. And I people laugh at me when I say this, but I was like, this is the best. This is the best coming from an animated show
Yeah.
explanation of chakras. And people might disagree with me, but I watched I watched all of that and I got really into it. And so it's something like that. I don't have a specific character, but just
Yeah.
being in a show with or meeting someone that's out of these anime shows and just
Yeah.
being able to yeah, being able to meditate through and just suddenly have all these superpowers and be able to apply that, like understand how people think, understand how
Yeah.
to control myself and my mind. So that's
That's
what that's what I
yeah. No, I fully like Airbender, 100% behind that show.
oh
I get it. What's your most used emoji?
Yeah, that's easy for me. It's the
yeah
prayer one.
Is it?
It's
Oh.
it's the prayer one. I think as of recently going through school and taking the
Yeah.
board exams and just the hectic schedule of
Oh yeah.
medical school, it's just I think every time I text a friend good luck on the exam,
Mm-hmm.
it's always the with the
The
prayer
prayer
emoji at the very
emoji.
end.
Yeah.
So I think that's my most used emoji. Also, like when you say thank you to somebody, I
Mm-hmm.
put the prayer emoji as well.
Yeah.
It's like thank you. So like everything has the prayer emoji, and so there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. So I love that universal emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. What about you, Diksha?
okay I so for me it's also the prayer emoji because I'm also saying a lot of people are
Yona's like, what a copycat.
no I'm
Get your own
copycat
emoji, Diksha.
we're one person on the DPM journey. You know, he acts like me a lot of the time. I'm like, he turns into
Do you
me
know
when
what?
I was little.
When you guys were texting me, like from that from the Instagram page, like I wasn't sure who I was talking to because I couldn't find like the texting like each person has their own texting style, and I'm like,
Not really. No, I'm just kidding.
it's like I was like, is it who's saying this?
I
Sometimes
know
I
we
have to act
realized we
like
should probably start.
Diksha.
Yeah, now we try to say who it's by so that people aren't
Yeah,
weirded out.
Yeah.
yeah.
It got a little weird with people.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
It
Yona's
can
like
get
always complimenting everybody, like, "Oh, you're so pretty," and then Diksha's like,
yeah,
"Man, I have to cover for you again."
dude, come on,
yeah.
bro. Like get it straight.
Get it
Okay, okay. I'll
together.
stop.
Good
I'll
job.
stop.
No, but
Oh,
yeah. So for me, it's because I mean I'm Indian, so
yes.
surprise.
Newsflash.
A lot
This
of
is your debut as an Indian person.
ta-da! I'm coming out as an Indian person. Yes, I definitely I do the prayer sign a lot because I'm like just like almost like out of respect for
Yeah.
all the people that are wishing me well. So I do that, but also because I'm very silly. My second most used emoji is the like I don't know how to do it in person, but it's like that's mine.
That's so adorable. I love that. That's
Yeah.
mine as well. Mine is like that one, and then like the face palm because I'm
Oh,
constantly like, oh my God, what have I done?
that's yeah, the face palm life.
Yes. Okay, my next question. Would you rather be invisible or be able to read minds?
100% read minds.
Oh, I could
100.
never.
Oh, really?
I could never.
What?
I think I would crumble if I knew what people were thinking 100%. I would rather
Oh,
be invisible. Like, I love being such, like, I'm such a loner anyway. So I feel like if
gotcha.
I chose invisibility, it would kind of like go with my personality. Like,
Gotcha.
bye.
No, 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 100%. I think if reading minds was sort of like I forgot his name from X-Men. The guy who can like read everyone's minds.
Ooh,
Uh
not Magneto. It's the
Not
one,
Magneto.
not
It's
the one in the chair.
you're right.
Professor X?
Professor X. There you
Oh,
go.
there you
Professor
go.
X, right?
Yeah.
If you constantly were bombarded with thoughts from
Yeah.
people, then okay, then that's a horrible ability. I think that's a horrible ability. If you can pick and choose to which right mind to read,
Yeah.
I think there would be definitely life-changing decisions in me that I
Yeah.
would have chosen with relationships, with
Mm.
friends, with patient actions, with just
Yes.
a whole skew of like my surgeries. Like there would have been just, I think my whole history of being would be different if I had that
Yeah.
ability. So I think reading minds could be in that sense would be awesome for me,
Ideal, yeah.
ideal for my certain situations that I go through in life.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Except
I feel that.
you have the other choice now, so you only have one other choice. You can't pick reading minds. It's
I
not
can
fair.
answer these first.
That's
You,
not fair. Not fair.
you're awful. No,
Just like lock him in his room or something, like when you're done with this interview. Like,
Right? Just lock it
I'm sick
on
of
the
him.
outside.
Lock.
Lock.
okay. Well, anyways, I I had the same, okay, but my reasoning is different. So I have something to add to the table here. Um, Being invisible for me, I would not find I wouldn't find really much benefit for that because humans are so complex
Mm,
that even if I were to study them in a sense where they don't even see that I'm there,
yeah.
they would still be hiding stuff in their minds. So
Oh yeah.
I would want, but here's also the other thing. I know that we have no right to know what other people think about us.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's that either that I'd want at reading minds, but I would want when I'm interacting with a patient and I'm trying to see if they're going to comply or what they're thinking about what I'm telling them, you know, then
Yeah.
that is what I would really appreciate. And also I could save the world with that because there's so many people
Aw.
just strange things that they want to do, and you could just
Yeah.
stop them at their tracks. Like if someone's
Yeah.
going to die by suicide, I could talk them out of it. And,
Yeah.
or like if a friend is struggling and I didn't know, I could
Hmm.
help them out. And it's just
Yeah.
little things like that. I'm talking about this like it's a real thing, but
Yeah.
That's a good point. Honestly, I
That is
didn't think of
actually
it
that
like
is a
that.
really good point.
That's great.
Yeah,
Like
actually,
really,
that's a really sweet point too, because you'd be helping a lot of people. Like from
seriously.
Diksha's perspective, like you would be helping a lot of people, especially because I know it's um for people that are introverted, it's really hard to speak about your problems. So
Right.
being able to just have that ability to like kind of peek into their mind and see how they're doing, and then just kind of like act accordingly without them knowing. I think yeah, that's a bit of a superpower for sure.
Right.
exactly.
Right.
It's actually a really good answer. I just want to hide.
Yeah.
Bye. What skill do you think everyone should have and why?
All right, I'm gonna
Okay,
answer
cool.
first.
Okay, go.
Not that I could copy this one, but
Okay,
um,
then I hope you don't get mine. So go ahead.
It'd be
okay,
really
let's
freaky if that was the case. You guys both had the same answer.
Right? I'll
okay,
just,
something like
that's
this.
it. It's over.
Okay, so I would say communicating.
Mm.
So, yep, there you go.
He's like, what is this?
I'm not even making this up. I'm like not making this up. I'll go with my second answer. I'm not
Okay.
even making it up. That was my first answer.
For my second, no, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
like not even making that up. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
No, let me talk
Go
about
ahead.
this. So, the reason why I say that is because I feel like that is the number one issue in this world because
Yeah.
we all want to listen to ourselves and our perspective, and
Yeah.
we don't want to hear someone else's if it's different than us. I mean, we listen, sure, but
Yes.
we're turning it off in our heads. Like we're kind
Oh
of
yeah.
turning off the audio in our heads, like my headphone keeps doing. And and like there's a one of our really good friends. He, I love having friends with different perspectives because
Yeah.
if we, how are we gonna? I think that's another thing. Like we only want to communicate with those who agree with us,
Yeah.
and I understand why that's the case, but I don't like it because I was someone who knew that if I didn't have all sorts of friends from different backgrounds and different
Hmm.
totally different opinions than me, then I would
Mm.
never learn. and I
Yeah.
can never be as accepting as I am. So I know it's also a problem that I have that some people find as an issue, that I'm very neutral as a person. If
I think
I,
that's good. It's a good thing to be. And I agree, like you don't want to have yes men around you because they could be, saying yes to, like if you want to do something that's technically wrong or bad, then they're just going to say yes, they're going to let you do that. So yeah, it's dangerous to have yes men around you. It's good to have people that challenge your ideals and your views. It's a really good answer.
yeah, and then you learn how to relate to other
Yeah.
people, and you understand their viewpoint. You realize all we're trying to do in life is just be happy. Like
Yeah.
we all have the same, and no one's intentionally trying to be evil either. And
No.
that's the other thing we need to think about. In everyone's heads, even though they're doing something that we think is awful, to
Hmm.
them they're thinking, this is what we need. This is what we
Yeah.
believe. I'm a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think our relationships and our interactions, again, with patients and our colleagues and our parents, our family members' relationships, it would all be a lot better if we just learned how to communicate and not keep
Yeah.
things to ourselves. That's what
I fully agree. I really respect that answer too. That's a great answer. What about you, Yona? What's your second answer?
Yeah, my second answer would probably be critical thinking. I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
yeah, I think as growing up, now I'm finally 25 and being able to somewhat critically think still.
Hmm.
Um, I think there have been so many decisions with my friends, family members, myself, especially with my surgery, let's say, and
Hmm.
thinking about the consequences of that surgery and thinking about all the different outcomes that could have happened. Think, I think critical thinking goes a long way, especially as a young patient. You think everything revolves around you. You think
Yeah.
um, you will heal really well. Your bones will really heal really well. You have less scar tissue. You will be up and running in, let's say, 3 to 6 months,
Yeah.
ideally. And that's what literature says most of the time. That's what
Yeah.
most doctors say. But in reality, not everyone is built the same. Not
Yeah.
everyone thinks the same. Not everyone performs the same surgery the same way.
Yeah.
So critically thinking about your actions and how you're going to do things and the repercussions of those things, I think
Hmm.
goes a longer way in setting yourself up as a person of intellect and as well as somebody who will take advantage of things in the
Yeah.
future. So I
Yeah.
think precisely making calculated decisions without making it too fast and too rash is more important, I
That's
think.
good. Yeah, and critically analyzing something kind of gives you the ability of hindsight. So,
Right.
as opposed to like being in that present moment and saying, "Oh, I wish I had made the right choice earlier." If you are able to critically analyze something, you can say, "Well, I evaluated my options and I chose this, so I knew the outcome would kind of relatively be similar to this or somewhere along those lines." So, yeah, I like those these are really great answers, you guys.
I'm glad we're giving good answers.
So, my last question,
Sure.
if you could keep any three apps on your phone, to delete everything else, if you could only keep three apps, which ones would they be? Which ones would you keep?
that's so mean. Why would I do
I didn't
Do you
make these answers. I didn't make these questions.
do you want me to start it, Diksha?
that? Yeah,
Okay.
and it's already gonna be my answer, so whatever.
Okay, so YouTube for sure, my first app that I would keep.
Yes.
Okay, so for some reason I had this weird situation in my head that somebody was stuck in quicksand, and I thought to myself, "Oh my God, how would I get out of quicksand?" And I was like, "Oh, YouTube has the answer. YouTube has the answer for everything." I swear. So I just searched up a YouTube video for that, and I thought to myself, "Oh my God, how many times have I used a YouTube video for a concept, for a question, for a specific problem I'm dealing with in life?" And
Yeah.
thought, "Okay, somebody out there has made so many videos about this, and I'm gonna search it up, and I'm gonna be like, yes, I learned that answer to
Yeah.
speed in 5 minutes. Bing, bada bing, bada boom. That's easy for me." So YouTube
Yeah.
for sure, the go-to for everything when it comes to problem solving or music or that sorts.
If I'm ever
But
in quicksand, I'm not calling Yona because he'll be looking up videos.
I
So
swear I
I'll be
would.
dying.
Maybe
Not
we
that,
will.
I'll do it quickly. I'll do it
Stop
quickly.
watching videos. I
I'm watching a really good one. Um,
need...
yeah, so YouTube is my first app I would
Yes.
love to have. My
Yeah.
second app would probably be SoundCloud. And
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
through so many music apps, but music for me is my uh my everything in terms of
Yeah.
starting my morning, in terms
Mm-hmm.
of starting my exercising, in terms of getting me into the spirit of things. I think music, especially SoundCloud, listening to different genres of music, but the way it's remixed by people's versions is
Mm-hmm.
different from just iTunes and Spotify. I love SoundCloud where everyone can just put their types of music, what they've created and mishmash together.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, the 2000 songs mismatched all together. That's what I love. And I
Yeah.
can find that on SoundCloud. So I'm like, yes, SoundCloud is my go to for that.
Yeah.
And then I think my third app that I can't live without would probably be okay, so if I bought an iPhone, it already comes preset with with iMessage, phone, and Safari. So I'm not really
I really want to say yes because I feel like I'd be helping you out with your answer here.
okay, but if you said no, I would say 100% the ability to call with the phone app.
Okay.
or, or, or the FaceTime app. One of those would probably be the more sensible and realistic answer.
Or you could just make videos about how you're doing and upload it, and then your family members can see that. So technically,
Right,
you don't really need to call.
right. Castaway Tom Hanks type of style on
Yeah.
an island and make uh, little snippets of myself doing things.
Yeah. I mean, you like
100
volleyball, you just get yourself a volleyball, you name
right?
it.
Just guys, I'm playing volleyball, premiering in 2 days on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, of course. But
Oh.
if regardless of those apps, if those apps weren't, if those apps already existed, I would say Google Chrome, uh,
Yeah.
or no, actually, Google Maps. Google Maps because I hate the interface of maps that are already installed on your iPhone.
Okay.
I hate those apps. And B, I need maps because I always find myself getting lost on a certain street or a certain location.
Oh my God. Yeah,
And
that's
I
horribly
think,
relatable. I'm always lost.
right? I like even though I know this city, I
Yeah.
don't really know this city inside and out. Like there's always going to be a route that's 12 minutes faster, so I'm willing to take that 12-minute faster
Yeah.
route. So Google Maps, 100% the way to go, and I can find everything in terms of food, gas, anything that I need through that app,
Yeah.
and I can get to it. Yes, Google Maps. So those are my three apps: YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Maps, 100%.
Okay. How
Your
about you,
turn,
Big Chef?
Diksha.
Fine. Fine. Okay.
You've
I'll,
had
I'll
time. You've had time to think about this.
No, no. I was saying I have to choose something different because I can't say what he said. But
Yeah.
so okay, I'm gonna say YouTube, but for different reasons again. So yes, you can do everything on YouTube. But when
Yes.
I was trying to think when with that question, I was going to say meditation apps, but the reason why that I don't need that because I have YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, I literally like what I was telling you, how I look up I used to spend a lot of time looking up self-development
Hmm.
type of videos, but now it's more, I listen to that, but I also listen to audiobooks that people upload for free on YouTube, and um, I listen to just a lot of podcasters, like how you
Mm.
podcast and everything. I listen to a lot
Yeah.
of those as well, and so anything I need, any mood I'm in, I can use thankfully I can use YouTube for that. And so that's why I would say YouTube. Oh, and whenever I'm studying, everything's there. So
Yeah. That's so
what can
true.
you ask? Yeah, what can you ask me that's not on YouTube? So there's that. And then up to date. So that I was thinking about is like if I if I was really struggling, and I
Yeah.
wanted to just focus on clinic stuff, I would say up to date because it gives you like evidence-based information. So it'll give you the right medication or just at least what's been shown through literature that's out there
Hmm.
right now. And it'll show the right kind of, if I believe, I think it shows the exact kind of treatment options that are out there that have been
Oh,
proven.
wow.
So it's great. By the way, if you
Yeah.
haven't checked it out, you should check
Yeah,
it out.
I will now.
So there's that, and then also my last one's gonna be tough. Let's see, what can I not live without? So I'm 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 gonna be boring and say Instagram so I can continue spreading the word.
I love that.
What else?
Yeah. No, that's good. I kind of feel you on that one. One of mine would be definitely like mail, like email. Like because I'm constantly emailing my tutors, like I'm like especially now that we have to pick like dissertation topics.
Yeah.
I'm constantly emailing them. Like last night I had a bit of an idea for like what to do for a dissertation and it was like 11:30 at night and I just shot my professor an email. I'm like, "Hey, I've come up with this idea. What do you think? This is stupid. Is it like tell me?" He's not replied, I think. I mean, I don't blame him. It's like the weekend. But I'm like the psycho trying to come up with like dissertation topics. He's trying to enjoy his life.
Right.
No, that's his life. It's understandable.
Imagine if emails had red receipts on them.
I would die. I would
Nobody would
literally
use it.
die.
Or everybody will use it. One or the other. If you
Oh,
clicked on it, yo, yeah, you just
Oh
red receipt
no.
that. Oh, mm-mm.
I would crumble. Like it's like I feel about that like the same way I feel about if I could read people's minds. Like I would instantly just cringe. I would constantly be like, "Oh, I didn't need to know that."
Why? Right, right. Yeah, there's definitely some
Like,
cringeworthy things that people
No, this
probably would
is
be
true
thinking about.
though.
Yeah,
oh my God.
100%.
I think of something that's like super cringe. Like I love pun humor. And if people found out what kind of puns I come up with in my head, I would have no friends. Like the
I
one
think you'd
friend I
have a
have, I
lot
would
of
have no
friends.
friends.
Oh,
Who
you
would
would
be
have
your
a
best friend?
lot of friends.
No
You would have
ways. Like
lots of
my
friends.
puns are awful. They are terrible. Like it's worse than dad humor.
No,
Be illegal.
weird and funny people are the best types of people.
This is true. This is very true. Thank you. Thanks for stroking my ego. I needed
Of course, anytime.
it. Awesome.
Oh,
Thank you so much for like, oh, sorry.
sorry, I was just saying good luck on your dissertation.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I really need the luck because we're all struggling. I'm struggling for sure. I don't know what to talk about.
Prayer emoji.
Prayer emoji, yes. Awesome. Thank you so much for taking time to like talk to me today. I had such a great time. I love your Instagram page. I follow you guys religiously. Like I'm such a huge super fan. I wanted to kind of wait till the end till I start like, getting all flustered over the both of you. But
Aw.
thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Take care.
Take
Thank
care. Have a
you.
great
Take
day.
care.
See
And
ya.
by the
Good
way,
night.
we're gonna invite you because you're really like you're great. No, we admire you and all your work, and I hope you continue doing that. And we're gonna
Oh,
need to hear about the schools in London because a lot of
oh
people
yeah.
have been asking us to not compare, but they needed help if they wanted to transfer and live in the
Right.
U.S. And so
I think
we're gonna
that's a
that's
good
amazing.
Yes,
that's a good
I would
video
love to do
idea.
that. I'll get some research ready for you guys.
Oh,
Anyway,
sounds
thank
good.
you.
See ya.
Bye.